Welcome back to Bound News Network. We're actually taking a really closer look at the weather in the region of Montana, Nebraska, and the Dakotas, as well as problem areas for severe weather in the region of Michigan and Wisconsin. We're also looking at flash flood advisories in the region of Arkansas, Mississippi, and the Texas area as we go into the weekend. One thing to note is that tornado advisories have been issued in the region of Montana, east of Montana, into the Dakotas, and there is a convective cycle there that's actually occurring. We anticipate that convective cycle of severe weather to increase over the next few hours into the late night, possibly additional tornado advisories. What's actually happening is thunderstorms as well as large hail as well as severe gusting winds are occurring in a convective cycle, basically an ongoing influx of low-level moisture into the area, coupled with a warm front and a cold front, and thunderstorms that are actually aligning ahead of those fronts moving into the area. So we're going to go ahead and monitor it in detail. We'll examine temperature as well as dew points, as well as a precipitation model, so you can actually stay in the know as to actually what's happening with the weather in your neck of the woods here at Bow News Network. Thank you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually taking a closer look at the weather in the region of Montana as well as Dakotas. You can see that low pressure system that is really powering a very, very powerful convective cycle in the region. We anticipate some really severe thunderstorm activity in the region of eastern Montana, going into the Dakotas, South Dakota, even Nebraska into the later afternoon as well as the at nighttime. It's a very powerful system. We see these severe thunderstorms that are popping up as a result of very, very heavy air mass instability, and it's actually spawning the development of storms with large hail as well as severe high gusting winds and very, very powerful downdrafts from these storms with gusts up to 60 to 70 knots in some cases. As we see, we also have very, very high precipitation and very, very saturated soil in the southwest, southeast, and it's actually seeing we can see some spots of severe thunderstorms in the region along the Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi border that are of really great concern, because keep in mind we anticipate additional flash flood advisories in the region that will be occurring actually with into the late night. The precipitable water table in that region, basically, which means the amount of precipitation that can be dissipated at ground level, is somewhere between an inch and a half to 2 inches, which represents a lot of saturation in the area. So we anticipate that there's going to be even more flash flood advisories in the region of Mississippi, Arkansas, as well as Louisiana, even eastern Texas, because keep in mind of all of that low level moisture that's actually coming up into the region from the Gulf of Mexico, where the sea surface temperatures are ranging from about 79 to 81 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're definitely in that zone with the start of the hurricane season, where the sea surface temperatures of the Gulf of Mexico are 80 degrees or higher. We are also of concern in the region of Wisconsin as well as Michigan. Severe thunderstorms in that are possible there also, and also severe thunderstorms in the region of North Carolina. If we actually take a closer look at the Storm Prediction Center, that will actually give us a clue as to what's actually going to be happening today, going into the later part of this evening, tomorrow, Also, there's very, very severe pockets of severe weather in the region. With our storm prediction center modeling, we do see some severe threats for the region of Raleigh, as well as Lincoln, Nebraska, Little Rock, Arkansas, Jackson, Mississippi, and Fayetteville, North Carolina. When it gets a little bit heavy, we actually start turning our attention to the region of South Dakota and Iowa, Sioux Falls in South Dakota, Sioux City, Iowa, Minot, North Dakota, Fremont, Nebraska, as well as Hastings, Nebraska is under the slight risk for severe weather. We're also taking a look at the enhanced risk level, which is Rapid City, South Dakota, Grand Island, Nebraska, Kearney, Nebraska, North Platte, Nebraska, as well as North Fork, Nebraska. So Nebraska on the north side of Nebraska is under a severe enhanced watch for severe thunderstorms. We can see in the area of southwest Texas, just along the border of New Mexico, near the region of Hobbs and Carlsbad, New Mexico, additional thunderstorm activity. That area has been pretty much spawning very, very severe weather and around the area of Lubbock and Odessa. So we anticipate more thunderstorms. And then if you turn your attention also very quickly to the region of the Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi area, they anticipate additional rainfall, additional powerful thunderstorms influenced by the low level moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. So with right now, as we take a look at the weather in Montana, we're actually seeing some severe tornado advisories in the region. We can actually see right there in the region of Billings and Williston, tornado, very, very powerful supercells that are actually moving to the north, northeast. And these are very, very powerful cells, coupled with the increased likelihood of development of very, very large hail, 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2 inch size hail, and also severe wind gusts with powerful downdrafts in the area to the tune of 45 to 50 knots. So it's definitely a region that we're very concerned about. And with respect to our storm prediction center, the weather that's actually coming up on our radar scope is in line with the storm prediction center and the predictions from NOAA in regards to severe weather in the region of North Dakota, South Dakota, going into Nebraska. We do have a moderate alert, which is a fourth level, which is Bismarck, North Dakota, Mandan, North Dakota, Dickinson, North Dakota, Pierce, South Dakota, as well as Williston, North Dakota. And Williston's actually showing up there, and we can actually see from our radar scope definitely that it is definitely in line with the imagery that we're seeing with very, very powerful supercell thunderstorms, actually with a tornado advisory just south of Williston, but northwest of Dickinson. And we do see that there's additional powerful thunderstorms just north of Billings. So this is definitely a situation that we're monitoring very, very closely here at the Weather Center. It is good to note also that the dew points that we monitor are definitely in line with what we anticipated with the Storm Prediction Center. We can see a clear dry line that actually permeates all the way through from central Nebraska all the way up through Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, and the eastern part of Montana. And these are dew points that are in the region of the upper 60s to mid 70s. So this is representing definitely high level of convective available potential energy for formation of scattered thunderstorms in the region of most notably the region of North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. And if we take a real quick snapshot look at the dew points in the region of Arkansas as well as Louisiana and Mississippi, those are well firmed in the mid 70s. So we anticipate that the thunderstorms there will increase the likelihood of flash flood advisories in that region. And we see in the region of Raleigh, North Carolina, solid dew points in the region in the low 70s. So, coupled with the increased level of moisture as well as different convective cycles starting all across the country, most notably in the region of the North Dakotas, Montana, as well as the South, even in Southwest Texas, we do anticipate that there are going to be very, very severe different pockets around the country, starting with Montana, North Dakota, as well as Texas into Louisiana, Arkansas, and Raleigh later this evening for severe thunderstorm activity in the region. If we can take a closer look at also, these are radar imagery coming in from the region of Wisconsin as well as Michigan. We see here that severe thunderstorms also are in line with the Storm Prediction Center modeling for severe thunderstorms in the region of the Wisconsin-Michigan border. The country is heating up, ladies and gentlemen, and we're seeing some very, very high readings for very powerful heat dome that is in the core of the center of the United States. And it's clearly reflected here in our heat modeling forecasting map. We can see in central Texas in the region of Lubbock as well as Odessa, temperatures are 102, 101. Even in the region of Hobbs as well as Carlsbad, New Mexico, 106 and 102. In the region of Phoenix, Arizona, 97 degrees. Even in Southern California, 91 degrees. And in the region that's very, very with a moderate risk of severe weather in the region of East Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, temperatures are firmly in the mid 90s to 100 degrees. So definitely, and we're taking a real solid look at the impact of low-level moisture combined with surface heating going into the later part of tonight, and how is that going to impact the weather as far as severity of the thunderstorms that are forming, coupled with various convective cycles moving through, as well as a warm front, cold front clash in the region of the North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska region. We even see in the region of Florida and Central Florida mid 90s, so they can anticipate a very, very heavy thunderstorm activity in Central Florida, also along the south of Alabama and Georgia. As we look further into the weekend, we anticipate these temperatures to be well firmed in the hundreds in the region of the Panhandle of Texas, in the region of the Great Plains, and also coupled with increased moisture and those sea surface temperatures coming in from the Gulf of Mexico are peaking more and more in the range of 81 and 82 degrees. So that body of water is definitely influencing the flow of low-level moisture into the region. And we anticipate it's going to have more an effect on the generation and the spawning of increased thunderstorm activity in the region of the south, as well as in eastern Texas, Arkansas, as well as Missouri going into the weekend. If we refer right back to the model for the Storm Prediction Center, it's good to observe the spots that residents should be concerned about: Southwest Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Raleigh, North Carolina region, of course the region of eastern Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, as well as Nebraska, as well as increased marginal risk for thunderstorm activity in the region of Michigan and Wisconsin. It should be noted. So this is actually what we're looking at and working on here at the Weather Center for Bio News Network. We will continue to monitor all of the severe weather across the continental United States. We One thing we have to note here is that the severity of the drought is looking pretty heavy. There was an advisory for Lake Mead, which provides fresh water for states such as Colorado and Arizona and Nebraska. And Lake Mead is looking as if it's at the lowest level it's been in decades. So the drought monitor index is we can actually see that there's severe drought monitor, and it is actually having an impact on the availability of fresh water in the region of the southwest, notably states such as Arizona, Colorado, Nevada, California. And we haven't really even started to really feel the effects of the summer weather. So we are really concerned about the effects of drought and what will happen when we're in the peak of the summertime, and the level of a lot of these natural reservoirs of fresh water that will provide residents with fresh water going into the remainder of the year. So the issue of drought is definitely real in the region of the Southwest, and also in states such as Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota. We just see a severe impact at this time as far as various elements leading to changes in climate. So actually, this is what we're looking at here at Bow News Network. We will continue to monitor the situation with the severe weather all across the continental United States. We do appeal to residents of Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska to stay tuned to latest developments in the weather in your neck of the woods, especially with a moderate risk of severe weather in the region of Bismarck, Mandan, Dixon, North Dakota, Pierre, South Dakota, as well as Williston, North Dakota. And we do see from our radar scope that there's different squalls of supercells as well as severe thunderstorms developing in the region. So, of course, we want to thank all of our subscribers for tuning into Bow News Network for this latest weather update, and we will continue to monitor the situation here as we go forward. And we do appreciate you, and always remember to bow to the weather, and have a great day. And thank you from Bow News Network.